right? Is it which is just a lot of it. I can't pay it to you.
Good evening, everyone, and for anybody who is watching at home, we will be starting our meeting shortly. We're just waiting for Carolyn McCreary to come back into the room, so we beg your patience just for another minute or two. We'll begin the meeting shortly.
When you get here, there are double doors. You just walk through, and there's a meeting room, and there's parking, so you're fine.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Montgomery Township Board of Supervisors meeting for July 13th, 2026. My name is Tanya Bamford, and I have the honor of serving as chairwoman of the Board of Supervisors. On behalf of my board colleagues, welcome. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're going to start with a few announcements. Build-A-Bag Backpack and School Supply Drive is currently going on. We are accepting donations of newly purchased school supplies at the Montgomery Township building. Now through August 10th, please ensure that all items are gender neutral, free of characters or cartoon designs, and not promotional or branded giveaway items. Flyers showing the most needed items can be found on the donation box and on our social media channels. Every donation helps ensure local students have the tools they need for a successful school year. Thank you again for supporting our community. Our summer concert series is underway, and it continues this Wednesday, August 5th, this Wednesday, and that's July 15th at our Community and Recreation Center. It's held every Wednesday evening through August 5th, and the concerts start at 7 p.m. Each concert features a food truck, and the concerts, of course, are free. The food is not. For the full schedule, please visit the Township or Recreation Center websites. We'd like to welcome some new businesses to the Township. The following businesses joined the Township in the month of June. Slime Arts, located at 804 Bethlehem Pike. DLR Research, located at 595 Bethlehem Pike, which is an office space. And Floor Coverings International, located at 1370 Welsh Road. Thank you so much for choosing Montgomery Township. And finally, we have a special guest with us this evening. Ben Hartranft, who is a township resident, is here with us this evening. That's fine. Right there is fine. Ben Hartranft is here, and we have some very exciting news to share. Ben was recently appointed to the Governor's Advisory Commission on People with Disabilities. 28 Pennsylvanians were recently appointed by the governor to this very important commission. And we're so proud of Ben, and we know that he will be an asset in this role. So congratulations to Ben Hartram. Ben, would you like to say a few words?
Yes. I am, first of all, I'm very excited. I want to thank the board for letting me come out tonight. And I want to thank my friend Noah for coming out tonight. Me and my friend Noah went on a Ben and Noah's big trip. He drove all the way out here tonight just to come support me, which is amazing. I know nobody came out tonight, but one kind person can actually change the world. And a couple people came out, which is amazing. I'm very excited to be on the Governor's Commission for Disabilities. I'm ready to get to work, and let's go!
Ben, would you like to take a picture with the board?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want us over here or in front of the logo?
Do you want to do it here?
I'm the only
Okay.
person from Montgomery County represented. Isn't that crazy?
Yes. Come on out. All right, you're in the middle.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, can you take one on my phone? No, I was gonna take it. I can take it.
Oh, take it with your phone and you can just send it to me.
Yeah, just take on your phone.
Oh,
now.
yeah. Sorry. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's not just that.
That's good.
Is my computer in the way again?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, no, just a chair.
Are we even?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready?
Ah,
Okay.
yeah.
There you go. We will
Just
see it.
This way, that way. Shimmy, 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 shimmy.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, let's look at Ben's phone.
Yeah, Noah. Thanks for coming out tonight.
You're welcome.
One kind person could change the world.
That's
Aw.
true. That's true.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
Moving on to our next agenda item, public comment. Persons wishing to offer public comment on matters not listed on this evening's agenda may do so at this time. Please come forward to the microphone, state your name, and indicate whether you are a Montgomery Township resident or business owner. Public comment provides an opportunity for residents and business owners to share their thoughts with the board. To ensure that everyone has an equal opportunity to speak, this portion of the meeting is not conducted as a question and answer session. Board members and township staff generally will not engage in discussion or respond to comments at this time. If additional follow-up is deemed necessary, the board may direct township staff to respond after the meeting. Members of the public do not need to attend a board meeting to share a question, concern, or comment with the township. You may contact the township office directly in person, via phone at 215-393-6900, by email at generalinfo@montgomerytwp.org, or visit montgomerytwp.org to access additional options for reporting an issue or contacting the township board or staff. To help us conduct the meeting in a timely and orderly manner, please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Thank you. Is there anyone who'd like to make public comment?
Yes, Jay Wachewski, Pinecrest resident, fire department. Beginning of the year, the board agreed to have a company evaluate our manpower and requirements. At that time, it was acknowledged that our manpower would be a priority and that hopefully they would have an update in a couple of months. My comment is, I don't know if I've seen anything on the board or on the website or elsewhere, so I'd like to see, soon. It'd be good to get an update and, are we, how tight are we on people to man our fire department? Because that was going to be a priority in the analysis. So, and then they said they'd have it in about 4 to 6 months. So it's kind of like 6 months. So, looking for some public update on where we are with the fire department, hiring a fire chief, stuff like that. Hopefully that was a comment, not any question.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. right, if there's no other public comment, we'll move on to item 5, which is the consent agenda. So I will move to approve the consent agenda as presented for the following: the minutes of the June 22nd, 2026 Board of Supervisors meeting and payment of bills for July 13th, 2026. Is there a second?
Second.
Any public comment? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, agenda item 6. Under planning and zoning, we have the review of the zoning hearing board applications. And I'm gonna turn this over to Jesse Hill, who is our zoning officer.
Good evening. We have 2 applications that will be heard at the August 5th zoning hearing board meeting. The first is Gina and George Shute, 109 Cove Circle. They have applied for a dimensional variance to permit a 10-foot high fence where the zoning ordinance limits the fence height to 6 feet. We also have another variance application for Scott and Patricia Van Orden at 142 Canterbury Lane. They're proposing to construct a 150 square foot covered porch on the front of their house, which will encroach the required 40-foot front yard setback by 2 feet. The applicant is requesting a dimensional variance to allow for the 2-foot encroachment.
I think we can allow the zoning hearing board to hear these and without our intervention.
So I have a little bit of a concern with that first one.
Yeah.
That 4 feet above what the requirement should be. I think we might want to talk about, possibly Sean or someone attending for that, because that's a big variance.
So there's 2 issues with that application. The original application that came to the township, they are appealing the determination of the zoning officer, which says that what they currently have violates our zoning ordinance. That's the first part. Then the second part is they're asking for the variance. So if they are in fact going to keep their application as is and appeal the action of the zoning officer, then I would recommend you send the solicitor. And if you believe that there's a chance they might grant the additional 4 feet, which is, as you said, a large dimensional variance, then you should send him for that as well.
So additional feedback. You might want to turn the microphone.
Yeah, I would say given those issues, yeah, I think we should send the solicitor for that one.
As much as this is a fence, I think that it is something that it's quite a bit of a variance. 6 foot versus 10 feet is a pretty big number. So I think maybe we should send the solicitor.
Well, I'll explain my rationale.
Okay.
And then I'll defer to you guys if you really feel strongly about sending the solicitor. But I know that this is the source of an ongoing dispute between 2 neighbors. And that, I understand that a zoning officer may have gone and said that this was in violation to the code. But in terms of their application for a variance, what I do believe that the zoning hearing board will make the right call on such a, extensive, request. I mean, this is not de minimis. And they have, I think, been faithful to their duty before. I also know that the neighbors will be notified of the application and are also likely to come out to that same meeting. And where I feel like, I want the township to remain neutral in a dispute between 2 neighbors in this regard. That was kind of where I landed on this, in not trying to take sides in a dispute between 2 neighbors.
I didn't view it as us taking sides versus, we have a standard in place, and just to kind of reinforce that, we want to stay within those guidelines versus such a huge variance. So just if nothing else, to make it clear that, this is our guidance on it. This is where we are with it. And, 4 feet is significant.
Right. And I know that's what the zoning hearing board, they hear, these requests for variances all the time, based on, people not adhering or not wanting to adhere to those standards. But again, I'm hearing a majority of people say that they want to send the
The other thing I think that
solicitor in opposition. Concede.
the other thing that I think that we may not have the detail on is that, what does this 6-foot fence look like versus the 10-foot fence? Could there be some information that we could get about, is a 6-foot fence with some sort of extension on the top that they're trying to say that that's not part of the fence and things like that? Like, I don't know if we know enough about it.
And just to be clear, they've already installed this, correct? It's up.
That's correct.
It's
So,
already up. Right.
and so there's precedent here too. And then we had it on Twining Road, another resident. Now, their neighbor did not oppose the variance, but there was another situation where someone installed a fence and put some decorative things on the top of it. And I think in that particular regard, but I'm sorry, solicitor, go ahead.
Yeah, no, this is obviously a board policy statement. Another possible approach the board could take, which I've seen taken other places, frequently when a zoning officer's determination is appealed, sometimes the board will send my office to defend the zoning officer's decision, because in our opinion, he was just following what he should be, and then being, say, neutral on the variance request. I mean,
Oh,
perhaps
okay,
that's-
that would
I've seen
be,
that
That makes
often.
sense.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good compromise.
but Jesse, while we're on this topic, can you share some or shed some additional light on the nature of the additional
Like Beth said, it was an original permit that was issued for a 6-foot fence. That fence went in, then an extension went on top of that privacy fence.
what's the nature of that extension?
It's a different type of material, but it's an
It's like a
extension of the
lattice
fence.
and it has like artificial greens on it. So it's like what you would put, they sell them if you want to cover, say, your HVAC system that's outside. It's meant for that. And they put it at the top, and then I don't know if there's birdhouses on it because they refer to it as a bird sanctuary as well. So, but again, it's 10 feet. So, and it's on the one side, it's not the whole property. But to Sean's point, that's what the solicitor's office was recommending to us, that if they are in fact going to keep their application as is, then they would go basically to say the zoning officer was in his right. He interpreted the zoning code correctly, but then let the zoning hearing board determine the variance on their own.
I'd be okay with that. I mean, unless you really feel strongly about appealing or appearing in opposition to the application.
Yeah, it's not, it's not so much, I don't know. Oh, we have the Jesse.
No, Mike.
So Mike,
I was just, your mic wasn't on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know that it's so much, I don't want to say in opposition. It is in opposition, I guess, because, we have a standard that they've exceeded. But it's just, I guess more so just the concern around that, I guess is it. So
are you in agreement that we can send a solicitor to, I guess, support the finding of the zoning
Yeah.
officer?
Yeah.
But not in opposition to the variance application? Everybody
agree with
agree
that.
with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Good. I'm good with that.
And how do we feel about the other application?
I'm fine with them
Yeah,
handling
fine
that.
with that one.
Okay.
Zoning.
Terrific.
Thank you.
So perhaps someone make a motion to send our office.
Okay. So I'll move to send the solicitor's office to the zoning hearing board meeting to
defend zoning.
defend the-
Zoning officer.
to defend
Interpretation.
the interpretation of the zoning officer. Is there a second?
Second.
Any public comment? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. All right, moving on to Public Works. Agenda item 7 is the consideration of a purchase of fuel through the 2026-2027 Montgomery County Consortium fuel contract. Greg Reef, Public Works Director, turn it over to you.
Good evening. The township has the opportunity to purchase petroleum products from Montgomery County Consortium Fuel Contract. The contract has been awarded to SJ Fuel South. The contract is valid for 1 year and will run from September 1st of 2026 to August 31st of 2027. Allocations for fuel for all departments were included in the 2026 approved final budget. So our recommendation would be that the board authorize the township's participation in the Montgomery County Consortium fuel contract awarded to SJ Fuel South for the purchase of petroleum products.
Any comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the township's participation in the Montgomery County Consortium fuel contract awarded to SJ Fuel South for the purchase of petroleum products for a period of 1 year ending August 31st, 2027.
So moved.
Second.
Any public comment?
So this is motor fuels as opposed to like.
Yes, it'd be diesel fuel as well as gas.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. To agenda item 8 is the authorization to advertise for bids for leaf and yard waste collection and disposal. Carolyn McCreary, Township Manager, we'll throw that over to you.
Thank you. A condition of eligibility for funding under DEP's 904 Recycling Performance Grant Program is that the township provide a separate collection of leaf and yard waste consisting of leaves, shrubbery, tree trimmings, and other similar materials with disposal at a composting facility. The regulations specifically require that the township provide for a curbside pickup of bagged leaf and yard waste at least twice per year in the spring and fall, and provide for a drop-off and disposal of leaf and yard waste at least once per month. From November 1, 2025 through October 31st, 2026, the township has contracted with JP Mascara to provide a one-day curbside leaf and yard waste collection in November, December, and another in April. In addition, JP Mascara provides a 40-yard container at William F. Mall Park at Windlestray on the third Saturday of each month for residents to drop off leaf and yard waste. Materials collected are disposed at the JP Mascara compost facility, which is DEP approved via a contract with the Northern Montgomery County Recycling Commission. The current contract expires on 10/31/26. Last year, the board chose the one-year option at a cost of $46,250. With the contract expiring on October 31st, the township will need to solicit bids for a new contract to start on 11/1/26. We need to lock in our fall curbside collection date as soon as possible, so we are considering putting the bidding out for the project now. So tonight, we are asking that you authorize my office to advertise for bids for residential leaf and yard waste collection and disposal.
So last year, if I recall correctly, we opted for the 1-year contract because a multi-year contract was actually more expensive. Is that
That is correct.
That is
There was no economies that you would
Right.
typically see in a
exactly?
multi-year, so we went with 1 year, hoping that fuel prices and some other things would equal out. So we're putting it out to bid again, and we'll ask for those options so that you can then make a determination.
Yeah. Although the irony is that fuel prices better.
Whoops.
Yeah. So that may not have been a gamble that
But I
paid.
think they were gambling on that as well, and that's why the prices were up, because they were factoring in that fuel might go up. So I think that's why you saw the results you did last year. Who knows?
Okay. Any other comments or questions from the board? All right, I'll move to authorize the advertisement for bids for residential leaf and yard waste collection and disposal to provide for a twice-a-year pickup, curbside pickup of bagged leaf and yard waste in the spring and fall, and for a drop-off and disposal of leaf and yard waste once every month. Is there a second?
Second.
Public comment? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Carries. All right, now moving on to the approval of a storage shed purchase for the Public Works Department. Greg Reef, Director of Public Works.
Okay, thank you. We're proposing a new storage shed at William F. Mall Park at Windlestray is necessary to support Montgomery Township's growing number of community events and programs held at this park. The shed would provide a secure and convenient location for storing event-related materials, decorations, supplies, signage, tables, chairs, and other equipment that are currently housed at the Public Works facility. With the Public Works Department operating at full storage capacity, there is limited space available for additional event-related inventory. Locating a storage shed at William F. Mall Park would improve operational efficiency by reducing transportation time and labor associated with events set up and tear down, allowing staff to better prepare and support for township events. The proposed shed would enhance event operations, protect township-owned assets from damage and deterioration, and provide a practical long-term solution to the township storage needs. Attached is a quote dated 6/25/26 from Country Time Sheds for a total cost of $11,965. A total of $15,000 has been included in the 2026 capital investment plan for the purchase of a storage shed for the Public Works Department. So our recommendation would be the Board of Supervisors approve the purchase of a storage shed for the Public Works Department from Country Time Sheds.
Thank you, Greg. Where will this shed be located?
It'll be close to the house. If you know where the turnaround is in the back, where the old pump house is, it's going to be up in the corner, located away from the house and the existing pad that's there.
That was my
I beat you
question.
to it.
Yep.
I beat you to it. Any other questions or comments from the board? All right. Everybody wanted to ask the same question. All right. Motion to approve. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the purchase of the storage shed for the Public Works Department from Country Time Sheds for a total cost of $11,956 per their quote dated June 25th, 2026.
So moved.
Any public comment? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Agenda item 10, approve the purchase of new LED lighting fixtures to be installed in-house on the parking lot lights at the Route 309 Knapp Road Dog Park, Park and Rides, and William F. Mall Park at Windlestray. Greg Reef, Director of Public Works.
All right. So we'd be changing his existing incandescent parking lot light fixtures to LED lighting fixtures. Provides the township with a low cost effective solution to improve lighting performance while reducing energy and maintenance costs. LED technology offers a longer service life, lower energy consumption, and more reliable operation than traditional incandescent fixtures. Improved light output enhances visibility and safety for residents, visitors, and employees, while reducing the frequency of lamp replacements and associated maintenance expense. Attached is a quote dated June 18th of 2026 from City Electric Supply Company, an authorized vendor under the CoStarz purchasing program for a total cost of $8,100. A total of $16,869 has been included in the 2026 capital investment plan for the purchase of the LED lighting fixtures. So our recommendation would be the Board of Supervisors approve the purchase of the LED lighting fixtures installed in-house on the parking lot lights at the Route 309, Knapp Road, Dog Park, Park and Rides, and William F. Mall Park at Windlestray.
This amount takes care of all of that? The
Sa-
8,100 will take care of
Yes.
the lights?
And that'll be an in-house project.
Any other comments or questions?
Was the budgeted amount of 16,000 just for these that you're doing, or are there additional?
The other
Maybe
ones
coming
we
up.
had purchased already. So the firehouses will also be done, but we have those already purchased.
Oh, so it's
And there was also a
50%
FICO
sale.
rebate that went along with this. Yep.
Wonderful. All right, well then I'll move to approve the purchase of the LED lighting fixtures from City Electric Supply Company, an authorized vendor under the CoStarz contract number 008-E26-1692 purchasing program for a total cost of $8,100 per their quote dated June 18th, 2026. Is there a second?
Second.
Any public comment? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, moving on to administration and finance. We have agenda item 11, and that's ratification of real estate tax appeal settlement for 739 Bethlehem Pike. Blaine Berge, Director of Finance.
The property at issue, owned by National Retail Properties Trust, is improved with a car wash. The school district, disputing the assessed value of $537,000, filed an appeal for the 2024 tax year following the Board of Assessments issuance of a notice of no change in assessment. The proposed settlement between the taxpayer and the school district would result in the taxpayer owing an additional $2,048 for the 2024-2026 tax years, with an increase of the assessed value of $79,550 for 2026. The solicitor's office has reviewed the proposed settlement and recommends the Board of Supervisors approve the settlement.
Thank you, Blaine. Seems pretty straightforward. I'll move to approve the stipulated settlement for 739 Bethlehem Pike and authorize the township solicitor to execute the document on behalf of the township.
Second.
Any public comment? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. All right, now Blaine, I'm looking forward to this. We are going to have an update on year-to-date financial activity.
Thank you. So the update is in the packet and up on the screens. Overall, we are almost right on budget with revenue and expense. There's nothing really unexpected, no surprises. The first screen there, the tax revenue update. If you look at so it's the blue column is 2026 budget. Red column or orange column is 2026 actual at 6:30, and the gray column is actual at 6:30 last year. So if you look at the real estate and the business tax columns, the first and the third set, they are each about where you'd expect. They're about 80 or 90% of budget that we've gotten in, and they are both front-loaded taxes. So that's about what you would expect. The EIT and the LST are, they come in evenly throughout the year, and they are about halfway. So again, that's also what you'd expect. The real estate transfer is the one that we are ahead of budget on. I'm not sure why that is. Excuse me. I guess the housing market is just selling a little faster than it was last year.
Even though inventory is still shockingly small, the prices that we're seeing are still, so we budgeted conservative because we didn't want to come to you in September and say, oh, we didn't make our mark. And that's a significant part of the general fund operation. So
this is just tax revenue. Obviously, that's the majority of our revenue. Well, excuse me. But there is nothing unexpected in any of the other revenue items either. So if there are no questions on revenue, the next page is expense. This is not by fund, it is by department or function. So some of those expenses cross over different funds. If you look at the orange actual, again, compared to the blue budget, everything is about halfway. So we are kind of right on. The two that are exceptions would be Public Works and Parks and Rec. And that is because a lot of them are composed of capital projects that we have not done yet. So police as well is under budget, and I'm not 100% sure what that is. It seems to be a few different categories that maybe we over budgeted for a little bit, but other than that, again, everything is pretty much right on budget where we would expect.
Insurance.
Insurance, that's front loaded as well. We just paid some more installments earlier rather than later, but I think that's budgeted correctly. So again, the big expense that we have left is the Parks and Rec and Public Works. And Public Works is, again, the orange bar is a little bit lower as well because we're so far under budget on so many items. So the next two pages are capital projects. I'm sorry, the very next slide is just the fund balance. of the general fund. So you can see it going up the last few years like we've discussed, and now we're spending some of that down on capital projects. The next two are this is the capital purchases schedule that we show periodically. So the savings overage column there, red is if it's over, green is when we have saved. So if you look at the second page of that, we are $830,000 under budget on the capital projects.
And that's the capital projects that we've moved forward on to date.
And it's today, it just does not include light conversion because that was not finalized when I did the schedule, but that one was another $8,000 under budget.
Okay. Thank you, Blaine. Are there any comments or questions from the board? No? Any public comment? No? All right. Thank you for that report.
Good work.
All right. Moving on to agenda item 13. Oh, well, before I move on, is there any old business? Because this is coming up under new business. Any old business to come before the board? No? Okay. Moving on to new business. We have agenda item 13, which is the review and authorization to advertise a responsible contractors ordinance. Carolyn McCreary, Township Manager.
Included in your packet this evening is an ordinance that, if adopted, would establish a new chapter of the Township Code that would outline procedures relating to the solicitation and award of public contracts valued at $250,000 or more. It includes certification requirements for public contractors, certification requirements for public subcontractors, and describes the application and review procedures. If the board has no proposed changes, you may authorize its advertisement this evening, and it would be placed on your August 10th agenda for consideration to adopt the ordinance. And again, I just want to point out this relates to public contracts only, town contracts that the township would be letting out in the future via bids.
Okay. Thank you, Carolyn. Comments or questions from the board? The only question I had is, in the event that we don't receive what's deemed to be or defined to be a responsible, bid from a responsible and certified contractor, what provisions are in place?
Sure. Thank you very much, Chair Bamford. My firm has dealt with this ordinance in several of the other municipalities we dealt with. The only time I thought I can remember that there was not a responsive bid was in a municipality involving a skate park. And what happened there is they really didn't get a responsive bid. It was kind of a very detailed, specific project. And so what they did is because they couldn't get a responsive bid, and the engineer who reached out to various contractors and couldn't get it in place, what they ended up doing is waiving the RCO by motion. They tried the RCO first. They didn't get a responsive bid. Then what they waived the RCO by motion and put the bid out again. That's the only experience I have with this, with that scenario.
But that's available to us. So,
yes,
in the event, so we can get our business done, right?
Yes.
Okay.
If it's not nobody responsive, yes.
Okay. And the threshold for this is $250,000. So it's any project in excess of $250,000.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. I have no further comments or questions. Any questions from the board? No. Any public comment? No. Okay. Then I will move to authorize the advertisement of ordinance number 26-361, establishing a new chapter of the Township Code that would describe procedures related to the solicitation and award of public contracts valued at $250,000 or more. Is there a second?
Second.
There's no public comment. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Right, and agenda item 14 is the discussion of proposed legislation for local services tax. Carolyn McCreary, Township Manager.
This is just informational. This doesn't require board action. The local services tax was enacted in 2004 at a rate up to $52 a year. Prior to that, it was known as the occupational privilege tax, and it was $10 a year. This tax is collected, as you know, as a payroll withholding. LST funds must be used by a municipality for emergency services, which include emergency medical services, police services, fire services, road construction, and maintenance. A municipality is required to use at least 25% of the revenue collected for police, fire, and emergency medical services. Currently, House Bill 2488 would increase the annual rate up to $156 a year with a $15,600 exemption. The current law has an exemption of $12,000. It's important to note that this tax is collected as a payroll deduction from those individuals who work in Montgomery Township. It would not be collected from residents unless they actually work here. The township collected $806,056 in 2025, with $606,936 allocated to the general fund and $199,120 allocated to the fire services fund. If the current bill becomes law and the board would choose to raise the rate to the proposed $156, we estimate this would produce an additional $1.6 million for the township.
Good to know.
And this is something that be imposed on the state level.
Yes, this is still going through the committees in Harrisburg, but
I just wanna
it's
make
been
that
put on
clear.
our radar by the Pennsylvania Municipal League, by PSATs, by the
Yep.
Boroughs Association, just because nothing has been done since 2004. And yet, as you know, based on our budget, our cost to provide emergency services has continued to climb.
So
Absolutely.
the 25% that goes to the emergency services, it says it's required. Are we able to change that to something higher if we wanted to, or?
Yes,
is it
you have to do a minimum, and we currently
Minimum
do.
of
So we
5,
put
so we
most
can-
of it into our general fund because
Right.
your police services is obviously the biggest portion of that three-legged stool for emergency services.
Mhm.
But you also give a contribution to VMSC annually now, which was not done a few years ago because that contribution ensures that they stay on our campus, ensures that our residents get prompt calls. And as you know, our fire services, even with the current staffing, those costs go up every year as well, insurance, wages, et cetera. So they're asking the municipalities that when this comes forward to support it, via your state representative and your state senators.
And
But-
do we know when we'll hear anything about this?
No, I won't know until I see something, we'll get a legislative
Right,
alert
all
that'll
of a
come in all of our
sudden. Right.
inboxes that say, you have 24 hours to get a hold of your state rep and your state senators.
And just bring what echoing what Carolyn said, obviously I sit in this chair in a bunch of other municipalities, and all the other managers and several of the other boards have echoed the same thing and sent authorization to reach out to their members of General Assembly, encouraging it. So just kind of something to put on your radar screen.
Thank you.
But to clarify, this is something that we would have to choose to adopt. So we would have to take action to actually increase it.
No, that's correct. I just wanted you to know the financial implications of it, because to go from $52 a year to 156, it's $3 a week for a worker in the township
Right.
who has access to your parks, who has access to your emergency services, who drives on your paved roads and takes use of, your plowing operations. But it's just important to know that there is something that seems that's might be innocuous to somebody, has a big difference to this municipality. $1.6 million is $500,000.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. All right, well, we'll keep an eye on that one. All right, if there's no other business to come before
I have
the
one more item. I'm sorry, I apologize. This came up this morning, so I want to discuss the replacement of the sign at the Zaire soccer fields.
Yes.
And before I can discuss it with you, I need to have you make a motion to approve opening.
agenda for this
Opening.
matter.
Yes, thank you.
I'll make a motion to add the approval of a sign to the agenda for,
Discussion of
or discussion of a sign approval for the Zaire Track Park.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Any public comment? Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay.
Okay, with that being said, the Park and Rec Board had discussed taking the sign at the Zaire track and changing the name to the David Hancock Memorial Field. And Greg has told me that in order to get this sign in place for the proposed November dedication, we need to move quickly on developing the content and then getting it to the sign company. So what I'm asking for tonight is board consensus to allow myself, Greg, and Chief Peoples to work on the content and then share it with the board and then get it to the sign company as quick as possible.
I just wanted to add into this, that this is an important thing. This is the 50th anniversary of the death of one of the patrolmen, Patrolman David Hancock. And we think this is a way to honor his service and to his family and descendants. We think this is a really nice way to do so. So I just wanted people to know what the history of that was as well. So there's a historical part, and we think there's no finer way to do so.
Thank you for that detail. Okay,
Yes, please move forward.
so I believe you have consensus.
Okay, we'll develop the sign.
Okay, thank you. Awesome. Looking
Thank you.
forward to seeing it. All right. Is there any other business to come before the board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right.
All right.
I didn't ask for public comment. Jay, I hope you didn't have any public comment.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Yeah.